Okay, this is part two, and just to finish up with the goals in the tech and robotics classroom, I find that they tend to want to go through any of the steps of the design process for the grade. So they'll be willing to do everything as long as there's some reward. They are good team players, captains, manage things, delegate tasks. Just want to be careful that they don't overextend themselves and dominate too much in collaborative activities. Green personalities in the robotics and engineering STEM classroom, I find are pretty good at defining the define stage and the testing stage. Um, by nature, they're good problem solvers, finders. They analyze everything. They're data driven. So conducting experiments and confirming hypotheses are good for them. Um, and they can be visionary. So in the ideate stage, they may sketch and come up with good ideas, but may struggle to communicate them in kind of a relaxed way. They can seem a bit logical, right? But these are your mad scientists in the classroom. Blue people in robotics and STEM, um, I think would be best at the empathize phase, finding, people driven problems, social problems, so if you do projects that may benefit people who are disabled, right? They're going to get motivated by this. In general, they're good team players. I find sometimes they're a bit hesitant around like dangerous equipment, like they can be a bit fearful. If you run more of like a materials processing classroom, they may need to be calm, and overall, they need to feel that the team is okay, which is good. Um, as you know, when you do group work, conflict comes up, but putting a blue into a group can really change the dynamic and improve how that group functions. Myers-Briggs also has another method of organizing personality types, right? And it starts with the broader NFNT SFST, right? Where people who value, people who vision, people who relate, and people who direct. Okay, it's a four-letter designation broken further down, right? So someone who is an uh, ENTP, right, is extroverted, intuitive, a thinker, and a perceiver. Okay, extroverted means that they're energized by people, enjoy a variety of tasks, they're outspoken. Intuitive means that they focus on possibilities, they're big picture thinkers, uh, and they can operate without a lot of details and factual information. Okay, if the T part is that they are thinkers, they make decisions, they're logical, have good analysis, and can objectively weigh pros and cons. Perceivers, this means that they keep their option opens, like to be spontaneous and flexible with things, right? So usually in the Myers-Briggs designation, someone will be introverted or extroverted, right? Outspoken or quiet and reserved. They'll be sensors or intuitive. Um, Basically mean that they can focus on facts or rather use their perception. Um, Thinkers and feelers, right? Using things with your senses versus making logical decisions. Judgers make and stick to plans, where perceivers are more flexible. If we were doing this live, I think I would have you do the task of researching famous designers and technology people and their personality types in small groups. And so someone like Larry Page, who is the co-founder of the search engine Google, he's identified as an INTP, introverted, intuitive thinker, perceptive. And once you research about them, think of the things they designed. How do their true colors and Myers-Briggs personality types show up in the products they designed? And it would be cool to see what different people, like such as Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, how their Myers-Briggs types impacted the things they invented. To me, the intuitive part of Larry Page's personality kind of justifies Google because it is very intuitive. I wonder if Gates and Microsoft, because it's more kind of professionally corporate oriented, if his personality type was something different here, maybe more towards the ESTJ or in the directing field, or someone like Elon Musk, who is very creative and comes up with very different designs. I wonder if he falls into the inventor ENTP category, right? Or is a visionary. So that'd be an interesting task to do if we're doing this live. But since we're not, we'll keep going. Activity 3, I want to talk about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. He divides our different people's intelligences into different categories also, which are spatial smart, naturalist smart, music smart, body smart, linguistic smart, interpersonal smart, logical, mathematical smart, right? So if you have good visioning, you're spatial smart. If you're a naturalist, you like outdoorsy things and would survive rock climbing and camping. If you're playing an instrument, you might be music smart. If you're good at sports, you're probably body smart. If you're linguistic, you are good at talking and expressing yourself in words. Intera with an A, personal, is you're very self-aware of yourself. Inter with an E is that you're good at sensing people's feelings and motives, and you're probably better at group work. Logical, mathematical, you're good at quantifying things, making hypotheses, and proving them. So, as an activity, I would ask you to consider your robotics class and the types of students who typically sign up to take it. All right. What intelligences do they excel at? What intelligences would they benefit from developing more of? I found that in general, especially in the early days when robotics classes started emerging, they were really good for logical, mathematical people, really appealing to linguistic people because robot coding can be a way of expression through words. They're good for intrapersonal, okay, but sometimes not as good for interpersonal. And because there were a lot of logical, mathematical people, sometimes their spatial understanding, their ability to read diagrams, drawing was not as good. All right, and these parts were a bit neglected, but they all matter in robotics because something like body kinesthetic, right? The way an arm moves, your human arm moves. Um, a robot is just really replicating that. So I wonder if we were having this discussion, what types of experiences you would have as participants of this PD. Common robotics projects, curriculum projects. I'm gonna stop there.